Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.
So Project Veritas is back at it again, people. I wanted to give a shout out to James O'Keefe and of course the Veritas Army that does all the good work behind the scenes and on the camera as well. You know, the people that put their fucking life and you know, family security and just their well-being, their career, all that shit on the line, just to, you know. But it started getting me to thinking too, because Veritas was pushing this video that they had coming out about some shit that's supposed to be like, oh, this is gonna break the whole thing on, you know, the fried fish and all of that, expose everything. And it was interesting to me because they were collecting emails and I was like, oh shit, let me get on this email list, because they're saying as soon as they drop it, it's gonna get their accounts banned and, you know, it's gonna get flagged and censored and all of this shit, right? So I put my name on the email list and they sent me the videos like they supposed to, and they did 2 videos and they said they're gonna keep dropping more next week, you know what I mean? And the videos, you know, was not too much crazier than what we've seen before. I'll get into it. Pretty good though, good stuff, because they had doctors speaking in the hospital, so it looked legit. But the point I was gonna make though is interesting to me is the videos are still up on YouTube. I thought when they sent me your email shit that they were gonna have to have their own website or their own way of disseminating this information. That's why they wanted emails, because they knew YouTube and all these other platforms weren't gonna
that's what I would have
let
thought
that shit
too.
live. But still to today, like I went on there today and, you know, grabbed a couple of clips because I want to share while we talked about it. And yeah, the shit was still up on YouTube. So I thought that was strange, you know what I mean?
Maybe they were just collecting emails.
Maybe, bro. Or YouTube knew that the play was that they felt like this video was gonna get censored everywhere. So YouTube was like, nah, we're gonna let this one, like YouTube just let it live for some reason, because they pick and choose. We've seen videos that said way less than what Veritas just exposed and they get banned, you know? So maybe it was some political shit or some, you know, gamesmanship on YouTube's part. Yeah, but I thought that shit was interesting. So yeah, the lady though that came forward, Jody O'Malley, and she's a mastered prepared registered nurse at the Phoenix Indian Medical Center in Arizona. Now I thought that was interesting too, because it wasn't just any hospital, it was the Phoenix Indian Medical Hospital. And this is like ran by the HHS, which I wasn't too familiar with, but this is Health and Human Services. This is like a federally funded department. All right, so that's interesting because
The HHS.
Yeah. Y'all know I've been on my native shit and they over here messing with the Indians. I don't know what type of Indians it is, but it don't matter, you know what I mean? It's in this federally funded Health Human Services. But anyway, so behind the doors, they caught the lady, the doctor, pretty much calling out the waxes BS, you know, and how people are being treated. She was calling it out. I'm not gonna play the full video because it got too much words that I think will get us flagged, you know what I mean? Even though for some reason they didn't flag the video, you know what I mean? But I did get little clips that we can share. What did I write there? Oh, they saying the hospitals have no policy or directives that have been sent out or discussed on any level at any time for reporting adverse events to VAERS, which VAERS we've talked about before is supposed to be keeping track of adverse effects. And you got a nurse on camera pretty much saying that policy is not being done at all whatsoever. And she's pissed off about it. Actually, she's saying this behind doors. And then I'll bring up the clip. She goes in front of the patient and in code, like we speaking now, she pretty much tries to tell him without telling him. She says something like, and I'm gonna play it for y'all. She says something like, well, you know, there's no reason why a healthy young man like yourself should be having these heart, you know, issues. You got the wax, you know, and you don't have fried fish, and you were fine before you got the wax. And since then, now you have all these adverse, you know, issues. So she pretty much didn't say it, but she said it, you know what I mean? She was trying to tell him, because she's at this point probably feeling culpable or broken, you know, as a human being, you know what I mean? Sure. And a lot of these nurses and medical professionals, God bless them, man, because, man, this really gave, if out of anything, this video that Veritas dropped gave me was an insight on how much these people are dealing with. And at one point, one of them even said it. They said, like, we only can change this from the inside. Like, what are we gonna do? Because we're on the inside, you know what I mean? And that really gave me a glimpse. Like, man, there's people that are fighting for us, man. And I've always said that when me and you get into the cynicalism of this world and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but I still believe that there's good people in those places of power, and they're fighting for, you know, the lives of their fellow man, you know? And they're not just going along with the shit, even though in the public, sometimes they have to. But behind those doors, like we saw, they doing what they can, you know. So y'all speak on it, man. I'm gonna pull up the clip. I guess I said it all, huh?
No, I'm just trying to get that bong hit in.
You want to see the clip?
Yeah, the visuals.
All right, let's see what we got.
I'm quite sure.
Oh no, this the pedophile stuff. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. We're just gonna go into the. Here we go.
Hold up.
I'm going to have to transfer you to another hospital.
So this is the video I was telling y'all about where the doctor behind the doors was talking to a colleague and pretty much saying this kid was affected adversely, you know? And she's pretty sure of it, and she's calling it out. She's like, this is BS, you know, that this is happening to people, and we know. And then this is her going in to talk to the patient.
Had congestive heart
Congestive
failure.
heart failure. And in that particular patient's case, it was not reported.
No.
I'm going to have to transfer you to another hospital. We don't have cardiologists here. And what you're developing is like a congestive heart failure. Okay? And that's not good. I don't know where this is coming from. On July 29th, you had the first COVID vaccine. And August 19th, you had the second. You know, you don't have COVID, okay, but you have got a lot of symptoms, you know, and you're developing congestive heart failure.
Were there other instances that they didn't report?
Oh, I've seen dozens of people.
And she goes on to tell a couple more stories. Yeah. One that was heartbreaking. It was about a fellow nurse of hers who had held off from getting it because of religious reasons. She had an objection based on religious reasons, and they had honored it. But I guess they were pressuring her and pressuring her and pressuring her. And as we know, some nurses have went on strike and just keep saying no, you know, but this particular nurse gave in and went ahead and got it, had an adverse effect. They actually showed a little bit of it on camera, and later on she passed away.
Wow.
And she worked with her. That was a colleague of hers. And she said that was the one that told her, like, I'm coming forward, you know. I got one more clip. This is another part from the Veritas story that they broke. This is the second video. This one isn't as compelling to me. It's more goofy, but it still is. It's still fucked up. Yeah. This one is a dude named let me see, Taylor Lee. He's an economist with the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. Yeah, I'm gonna play what he said, man. He's goofy though, but at the same time, I'll tell y'all what I thought about this, and then I'll play it for y'all. Even though he's goofy, and I didn't take him too serious because they got him drunk too. They were at a bar, so sometimes they do what they gotta do to get these people to open up and talk.
Right.
So they were chilling at a bar and they're drinking. So the dude is obviously intoxicated, but he's talking that shit. And to me, even though he looks uncredible and goofy, it just told me this the silly motherfuckers they got working for us in these positions of power. And we think these are experts, trust science and all of this shit. Y'all got goofy motherfuckers like Taylor Lee for the Food and Drug Administration. And watch what he talking about, y'all. These is the fools that we listening to, or not us, but you know, a lot of people are championing.
How do we reach the minority populations? Is there a way to do it? I want to get back to normal.
I'm sure there is. I'm not the person to answer it though, other than blow darts. Because I think that is a great solution.
Well, the problem with that is African Americans, they might think that it's like almost like a callback to like getting shot by like the.
It's fine. We'll go for the whites first.
Oh, there you go.
We'll post like video campaigns about doing it to the whites first, and then they can't call it.
Then they can't say it's racist.
Exactly.
Because it almost harkens back to like the photo being shot in Africa by a blow dart and then put in a.
We'll have to hire some Amazonians first.
Yes.
Because like they'll get it done.
How good are you at blowing darts?
So we're talking about blowing darts to vaccinate people?
He went further, but I wanted to get y'all.
I mean, obviously, yeah, and I understand what you're saying. Like, okay, the guy is obviously drunk and stupid and being lame, but just playing like that when you're in a position like that, there's nothing funny about that, bro.
Man,
you know what I mean?
He's sparking other people's minds, even if he don't do it.
Yeah.
He brought up references to Nazi Germany. He brought up the yellow armbands that Emmett has made reference to before with this whole stuff. So yeah, he was wilding, bro.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much that someone would do it. It's more like like you said, the type of people they're hiring. Like, who the fuck sits there? Like, I don't want anyone in that position to be making jokes like that.
He went on and on. Go door to door, because I only got
Go
a
to the
little
unvaccinated
clip.
And blow it into them.
You guys could go to
them.
Veritas, Veritas, to get the rest of this scoop. James O'Keefe's doing a great job. He has a new book coming out. Check him out. I just gave you a little piece because, you know, we're just here to give you the news.
Since this goes door to door if you don't respond. Yeah. So we have the infrastructure to do it. I mean, it'll cost a ton of money, but I think at that point, I think there needs to be a registry of people who aren't vaccinated. Although that's sounding very much like Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany, I mean, think about it, like the Jewish Star for unvaccinated Americans. I'm going to go door to door and stab everyone with the COVID vaccine. Oh, it's just your booster shot. There you go.
He goes on and on,
If you put every anti-vaxxer like sheep into the Texas and you closed off Texas from the rest of the world and you go, okay, you be in Texas until we deal with this. All the wealthy white people are getting vaccinated because they're educated.
Stop there, though. The reason why I picked the little clip that I did is because he brought up that example. They pretty much were saying, how do we get the black people to trust? Yeah. And his answer was, we put some white people up first as props, and then we get the black people to follow. And I just thought that was fucking telling as a motherfucker. Like, listen, black people, he just told y'all the strategy of how to get y'all to be fucking buying all this Gucci, Louis, Prada, and doing whatever your neighbor trying to do, keeping up with the Joneses and shit. They just told you. Oh, that's easy. All we got to do is, and if putting up a couple white folks don't work, we'll just get a couple boule. You know what I mean? And prop them up for y'all motherfuckers. They pretty much saying y'all monkeys and you monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? So that's what the fuck I heard when I heard that shit. And he was talking about blowing darts, and then they brought up even, oh, well, it's just like Africa. You know, I was like, oh my God, bro. Put a little liquor in somebody and the truth get the flowing, man.
Yeah.
Let me show y'all too.
That was definitely weird.
There's quotes too for the doctors, because these videos were really compelling, and I barely played a little piece. The doctor Maria Gonzalez, she's the one that said all of this is bullshit. She said now a patient probably has myocarditis due to fried fish wax, but now the government, are not going to blame it. And she goes on. They're not reporting it. They shove it under the mat. It's a shame they're treating people, or they are not treating people like they're supposed to, alluding back to, like we said, other governments that are giving people treatment, and we're just giving you one thing, you know, and mandating it. So, yeah, man. And it's not even performing like it was supposed to. Yeah, they just killed it, bro. So yeah, but to me, this ain't news because we know this, but I don't know. At this point, it's like, what more what more can I say? Like Jay-Z, bro.
Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.